Hey, hello. Welcome to episode number 104 of the People We Love podcast. I'm Adam Choit. What's up? If you are new here, what I do is interview people from all walks of life, most often comedians and other artists, about their lives and careers. It's casual conversation, but I also ask everyone to highlight someone they love, someone who they admire, who influenced them, inspired them, or supported them. For more, check out peoplewelovepodcast.com. That's peoplewelovepodcast.com. And the Instagram handle is at peoplewelovepodcast. And you can find me on Instagram as well, at Adam Choit, my name, if you want to follow me too. And it's the same on Twitter, at Adam Choit. And please remember to tap subscribe or follow on whatever platform you listen to podcasts on. And of course, positive reviews on iTunes are greatly appreciated as well. So, today's guest is not a comedian. He is my friend and former college roommate, family man, cancer survivor, and more, Doug Druckman. Doug tells me all about high school football's positive impact on him and how he made lifelong friends from it, despite playing 1 year for an 0-8 team. We're both from Long Island, but I didn't meet Doug until freshman year at Syracuse University. And we lived in a nutty house of legendary partying junior year and senior year. But after college, it was back to Long Island for Doug before eventually finding his way to Chicago, where he is to this day. Along the way, he met his wife, Beth, and had 2 kids. But just last year, doctors discovered a blood clot and a tumor in Doug's arm. Happy to say, though, Doug is doing well today, and he tells me all about how he got through this very difficult time. I really appreciated the chance to catch up with Doug, and really appreciated him sharing his personal story with me. But let's just get started. Here's Doug Druckman. So it's good to see you today, Doug Druckman. Thank you for joining me on the Zoom here.
Of course. This is great. It's great to see you.
Oh, for sure. I appreciate it. How long has it been since we've heard each other's voices, be it on the phone or whatever? Because we've text here and there once in a while or message, but not too much, communication, which is probably mostly my fault. Everyone always think, I always think it's my fault for some. It's always my fault. But how long has it been since we talked? People don't talk anyway.
Shit.
Few years, at least.
Has it been 10? It can't have been 10 years
since we talked on the phone. Probably not. Probably 5 to 10 years, maybe. Yeah, I don't know.
I have no idea. Well, I guess it shows you how long it's been.
Yeah, it means we're fucking getting old. We're old fucks now.
Yeah, man.
But we were talking before we started recording, so we got back into it. And they say that people have that sort of rapport with college friends, people you've been around. It's like you pick up where you left off. Like, I don't know. I don't feel like I'm talking to a stranger. I'm talking to Doug Druckman.
Oh, yeah. I feel good. I guess I was a little nervous because I hadn't seen you in so long. I didn't know, how it would go. But yeah, this is great.
Yeah, I felt the same, a little bit nerves for sure. But how are you holding up in 2021, right now in this crazy world?
Well, obviously it's been real tough, but I feel really good now, after everything that's happened to me, which I guess we'll talk about.
Oh, yeah, exactly. And
I feel really fucking good now.
It's all relative, I guess. Yeah, for sure.
I can be honest.
Yeah. We can get into it. Why don't we get into your life? And I'm going to give you the treatment, the podcast guest treatment. And tell me about, I guess people earliest memories. I kind of ask what people remember from even before kindergarten. People remember shit at 3, 4, 5 years old. I don't know if anything jumps out at you. Sometimes it's not good memories, but I'll give you
my first memories.
I don't know what jumps out at you. You can tell me about where you grew up and your background. We can get into that.
Yeah. We're both from Long Island. I'm from Smithtown. You're from Dix Hills.
Right.
Is that correct?
Yeah. East Meadow till the end of first grade, and then second grade on was Dix Hills. Mostly Dix Hills, yes.
Yeah.
Suffolk County. Yeah, we're Suffolk County people.
Suffolk County. So we grew up around the same area. well, originally we were Hop Hog, but they changed this post office when I was, I don't know, 8 years old. And so technically then we were Smithtown. So I lived in two towns without moving,
Did you post something about this or did I come across this information? I felt like I just came across this information recently. I don't know where, but
I'm sure I've talked about it. I mean, I find it interesting.
Yeah. And you grew up with two siblings, two sisters. Do I have that correct?
That is also correct. I have two older sisters, Amanda. She lives in everybody lives in Seattle now. My dad, my sisters, they're all there.
Wow.
So yeah, I guess they're all there, and I'm here. I'm at one point we're everywhere over the country, but they're there, and it's
yeah, your family. But tell me about 5-year-old Doug with two older sisters growing up on Long Island.
Oh, I was a little. I was such a little pussy. I don't know what to. I was such a little puss.
You?
Yes,
a football player.
I was when I was a little kid. I was such a little wimp.
Yeah.
But
I toughened up like within the last year and a half. We're getting there.
I remember times in college we were around each other, and you were upset, and you could take care of yourself sometimes.
Yeah, I guess so.
There were a couple times I remember you getting physical with people.
Everyone got physical with everyone at some point.
We did. There was that one fight. I've had fights with everybody.
Right.
Almost.
Everybody fought with everybody at some point. Yeah. I think that's probably natural. That's what all our parents were paying for, for us, and the loans and the financial aid, whatever it got us through. It was so we could fight with our friends in college. but 5-year-old Doug was not as tough. And what do you remember about
well, I mean, I had a good childhood. Both my parents, they were, they had good jobs, and they loved us, and I had a really good childhood. I didn't want for anything. Me and my sisters all had these different hobbies, like little kids have.
Yeah, what were you into?
There was a period, believe it or not, where I was really into horseback riding.
Dude, I don't know fucking anything about you. You're like, I was a pussy when I was like in elementary school. And I liked horseback riding. Who are you?
I'm totally. You could ask my dad. Totally serious. It's totally true.
Well, tell me about it.
I don't know. There was a period I was into like horses and like westerns. I was really young, and my parents paid for like horseback riding lessons. And then for a while, I was into like dirt bikes.
Yeah, that sounds more you.
And then after that, I got really into football. And then I got into like wrestling. And then, I got into college, and I got into drinking. And
some of these things are more productive than others.
I don't know. Did we go too fast there?
No. What you're doing is laying out the groundwork. You're setting out the itinerary for where we're going with the conversation. What about academics? Being academic through,
I wasn't a bad student. I remember. I mean, I had a very lunch pail attitude. Sorry.
You good?
Apple Watch. I had a very lunch pail attitude toward academics. I don't know. I mean, when you see me on Facebook, I'm very bombastic, but I don't know how smart I really am, but I worked hard at school, and I studied, and I, did the work, and I got by.
You were probably one of the more dedicated students, actually, looking back. Now that I think about it, I'm not saying you were the smartest or the best performing, but you were pretty dedicated, at least among the circle of people that I was around. But maybe that's not a good thing, or not saying much.
I, I mean, I went to the classes.
Yo, we
And
were all
someone,
at the graduation, I think. I don't know. Probably most of us.
yes, we all. I went to the
At some
classes,
point.
and
Yeah.
somebody used this term recently, and I think it's awesome. A gentleman's C. That's what I got in all my classes because I showed up. I didn't do a lot of the homework, but I showed up and I made an effort and I did the work. In high school, I was actually a good student. I didn't like drink or smoke or party. I was straight edge, and I didn't do any, bad stuff. So I was a good kid. And then, I was really into football and working out and lifting weights and that stuff. I was really into playing the guitar, and
Where
you
do these
know,
inspirations come from? Like, what is it? Is it an NFL player? Because we're both Jets fans. Did that make you want to play football? Was it your friends? Was it who made you want to play guitar? Also, like, where did these hobbies come from? I mean, you had to get
wow.
exposed from somewhere,
Well, football. All my friends were playing,
right?
and like after school, I had nothing to do. So all my friends were playing, so I tried it and I liked it, and I was decent at it.
What position were you
I
playing?
was offensive line, defensive line.
Yeah. What were you better at?
Neither? No.
There's got to be
No.
one, or you're
No.
great at both.
I was at my senior year. I went to Smithtown. We were 0-8. We fucking sucked, but I was really good. I played right tackle on offense, and I mean, I did pretty well.
It wasn't your fault. How many sacks did you allow during the season?
I'm sure at some point a couple.
Yeah, that's not a lot. That's not a lot at all.
I don't know. I mean, I'm sure it happened. We sucked though. We went 0-8.
But did you love playing? And did you care? I mean, obviously prefer to win, but did you did you care? You just loved being part of the team and the game itself. Football.
Yeah. I always like being a part of something, and I got into football and I met all my close friends there, and it kind of exposed me to lifting weights and working out and being in shape. And it was I thought it was fun. It was cool. And all those guys were cool guys. And I like physicality and I like working out, and it fit.
Yeah, no, it sounds like a lot of good and positive things came out of your high school football experience. Tell me more about any memories with teammates, or maybe talk about you did have a touchdown, if I recall.
Yeah.
Which offensive linemen and defensive linemen don't score many touchdowns. And if I recall, there's a video somewhere. I don't know if that's still floating around.
It's on YouTube.
As it should be.
I think they took out the music. I think
copyright
originally
infringement
during the touchdown they played like the Doors or something. But on YouTube now, because it's licensed music or whatever,
right.
There's no sound. But yeah, the homecoming game, the one game where we had fans because it was homecoming.
This is the 0-8 season.
This is the 0-8 season. This is my senior year. It's homecoming. I'm playing defense, and we were playing Lindenhurst High School. Who that year, '99, they were pretty good. And they had a quarterback, Eric Conroy, who was big and tall and lanky. And I remember, in not so many words, our coaches said he's a pussy. Can I say pussy on this?
You can say pussy on this.
Okay. He was a pussy, and if you hit him, he'll, he doesn't take a hit well. So if you get a shot at him, fucking hit him. And somebody, I think they were trying to set up for like a fake field goal. And
this went very wrong for them.
Oh gosh, it sure did. The guy, Conroy, the quarterback, he got the ball, and one of my buddies hit him, and I heard, some like little pussy sound, and that's what pussies sound like. But and then the ball was just in the air, and I heard somebody fucking scream "live ball," and I caught it, and I just started running, and
How far?
it was like 75 yards.
Whoa.
That's what it was in Long Island Newsday, 75 yards, and
damn.
And then it was in front of everybody. Everybody was cheering, and we scored. We didn't score a lot. I think we scored that whole season 8 touchdowns. 8 touchdowns in 8 games.
One per game.
Yeah, exactly. And there were like, I think there were 2 games where we didn't fucking score once. We didn't score once. We fucking sucked.
Yeah. God. But it wasn't your fault. You said you allowed like 2 or 3 sacks the whole season. So what are you supposed
I don't remember. I was okay.
What about the run blocking? You can't run the ball. You're too far behind anyway.
Yeah.
there's no chance for that.
It was a lot of fun, man. It was a lot of fun. It was good for me, and it was cool.
What about your teammates' reaction to that touchdown? I mean, they must have gone crazy.
Hell, this is becoming kind of Al Bundy-ish, no?
I did have that thought. I did have the Al Bundy
thought. Oh, fuck.
No,
we dug ourselves in this hole.
It's good. No, we're gonna get going. We're gonna move on. I'm more interested in the people from your football team, because those people seem to be, and your friends seem to be, a big part of things. Your teammates.
Sure, of course, man. They're like all my close buddies. You met Bill Knox, Omak.
Yeah.
He's one of my close buddies. I probably text him, I don't know, once, twice, once a month,
Yeah, you're good. You're better at keeping in touch than many people. Yeah, you're slightly above average. I just think that because you sometimes do a better job than me at keeping in touch, so I just assume you're that way with everyone. But life.
No, not necessarily.
It's a tricky thing. Life is hard.
Well, I don't know. Sometimes I do this thing where, like, I quietly cut somebody off. This is going to sound so shitty. It's going to make me sound like an asshole.
No, I think this sounds polite, to be honest with you, just by the way you're getting into it.
Okay, so this sounds very Larry David. So if it sounds stupid, whatever. But
no, I'm probably going to be doing this shit.
If there's something about someone that kind of rubs me the wrong way, or I feel comfortable with, or whatever, I just I don't have it out with them. I don't yell at them. I don't whatever. They text me, I'll maybe do like 1-word answers, and I won't actively try to get in contact with them. That
sounds perfectly normal to me. You're good. Keep doing that.
Okay. I quietly cut people off.
It's more fun to yell in person. If you cut them off in person, you want to yell. You get they're there to hear it. But exclamation points and just typing fast with your thumbs it's not felt or received the same way on the other end. But all right, so how do you get into how do we get high school to Syracuse University? How do we end up there?
Well, I got into my mom. I had a typical overbearing Jewish mom who she was a principal, and I applied to
that sounds nightmarish.
15 to 20 schools.
Not that part, the mom part.
Yeah. No, whatever. She had my best interests at heart.
That's all you want, man.
Of course, and I applied to a bunch, but it came down to Syracuse, Boston University. When I visited Boston University, it fucking sucked. They fucking hated it.
Why do you say that?
Oh, man. When I visited, I guess, here's the thing. I went there, and, they showed us around, and I spoke to some of the students, and they were all very, they had these canned answers like, I feel really challenged, and it's so diverse, and I feel inspired, and they used all these buzzwords.
You could tell they weren't being genuine, is what you're saying.
Yeah. And I'm like, I don't know. Well, it just, I don't know. At the time, I'm like, okay. When I went to Syracuse, everyone was like, I love it here. It's great. And
They're more real
there was,
people.
yeah, they were real people. They were enthusiastic. They thought it was an awesome place to be. The person who actually took me on tour, did the tour for us, was James Jesta, who was your RA.
Correct, freshman year.
And he was wearing a Black Sabbath shirt. Black Sabbath's my favorite band. I thought it was a sign. I'm like, I gotta come here. And it worked out that, I was able to go to Syracuse, with everything, and that's how it happened.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm gonna tag Boston University and all this shit on social media.
Shit on me.
I didn't get it. I don't think I got in. I think I applied there and didn't get in, if I recall. I definitely didn't get into their communications program. I don't know.
I got in.
I was not a great high school student by any means. I was a great student in like third grade. I peaked in like third grade.
No, you had to be good if you got into Syracuse.
Good enough.
Yeah.
Art school.
That's right.
Art school.
You were an art school kid.
Right. And I was a freshman in the year 2000, and you were a freshman, and we met in that tall ass residence hall, Lawrenson
Hall.
I was
still
floor 18, and you were floor 9.
7. I was on the 7th floor.
9
was
also.
on 9. Omok was on 9.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, no, I think Lawrenson Hall is still there, as far as I understand. I think it's still called Lawrenson Hall.
When were you last in Syracuse?
Graduation.
Holy shit, really?
You know what it is? Every time I go back east to visit Long Island or New York City or whatever, like everyone is there, and there's not that many people I'm in touch with, and even in those places these days. You're in Chicago now, of course, right?
Of course,
for a long time. Yeah. So whenever I go back east, I'm not going to Syracuse, and
yeah,
like I wouldn't be able to fly direct. And what am I going there for? And I'll go when there's a reason to go. If they're like, I don't know, the football team has to have this like championship level, but even that, I don't really care.
It'll happen. You gotta believe.
Yeah.
But, no,
well, maybe if you go sometime, I'll go. You don't go. Yes. You used to go more, but obviously now living in Chicago and dealing with life, you probably don't go back as much.
The last time I was there was 2009, so that's what, 12 years ago now.
Yeah, that's a while. Yeah,
so that's a long time.
Damn, why does it go by so fast? What the fuck? Slow that shit down.
The way it goes, man. Shit happens. It just chews up the time. It chews up the clock, and you run out of time.
It's more important than money. I mean, obviously, health is important, and money can help in a lot of ways. But isn't time? Time is like right up there with those things in terms of like how important it is.
I would say.
Yeah. We can talk more Syracuse freshman year, sophomore year.
What?
It's all in the vault. We can't talk about any of that.
mean, I don't know if we should get into like.
No, we don't have to get into intimate details. We were Animal.
Fun.
It was like Animal House. I thought of it as Animal House. Perhaps maybe that was just my perspective, but it felt like we were one of those like movies.
It was very stereotypical. The Alpha Beta house from Revenge. That's not a good example now. I guess Revenge of the Nerds doesn't age well, but it was like an Animal House.
Yeah.
A
mix of cast of characters. Obviously, junior and senior year we lived in a house together. But yeah, go on.
Yeah. But the cool thing about that house was, I mean, it was fucking dirty, but when people wanted to party and like have that Animal House experience, they always came to our house because they knew they were going to have fun. They knew it was going to be crazy. They knew, if they wanted to, when
our greatest strengths are also our greatest weaknesses.
I just feel like, when they wanted to have that college party experience, they came to our house because we were fucking awesome party people.
Yeah.
We were great. We love to have fun.
We did. and we had a lot of it, and those are definitely great memories, and we managed to not burn down the house. We almost did. We might as well
that
have.
place was a shithole when we got through with it. When we got into that house, it was a nice, little college area house.
It's like a 7-bedroom, 3-story type house.
Yes,
I should know what type of house it was, but it was like a traditional type house.
It was 7 rooms. When we got there, it was a really, really nice, college area house, and 2.5 years, whatever. We fucked that place up, man. There were holes in the walls. The floor was like a light brown, varnish color. When we got through with it, the floor was fucking disgusting and black. Some of the bathrooms were disgusting. Like, I could never live that way again.
I feel like the way you describe it, it's almost like you do take some pride in it, and maybe part of me does as well. Maybe not as much as you, but it's just that it means like it's a sign that we lived life to the fullest in some way. Is that what it is? At the time, we thought of it as that.
I guess at the time, as college students, we wanted subconsciously to be, I don't know if dirty. I guess to say like dirty and grungy.
We were just lazy, dirty guys, basically.
Yes. That house was disgusting. That was so disgusting. I could never live that way again. I could never do that again.
It wasn't disastrous all the time. Maybe to the listener, you're making it out worse than it was.
Wasn't looking. The only time it didn't look like a fucking tornado hit.
When we first moved in?
Yeah, when we first moved in, that's the only time. And we took pictures of that first weekend. That's the only time I remember that house looking like, not fucking dilapidated and shitty.
It looks great now. I actually, every once in a blue moon, I do look at pictures on the internet, on the real estate listings or whatever I can find.
For sure, me too.
House. I don't know whether we should say the address or not. I'll just say that it's on Euclid Avenue between Sumner and Ackerman.
Why can't we say the address?
Because fuckers might be living there now, and people are gonna knock on the door. And
that would be good for them. No.
By one person in Syracuse listening to this podcast. Although I'm sure I'm gonna tag Syracuse stuff. Hashtag
we
Euclid
can't say
Avenue.
the address. Are you fucking kidding me? Come on. Fuck.
511 Euclid. 511 Euclid Avenue.
Fuck, man.
Yeah.
Well, I guess you could, if you want to edit it out, you can. But I'm going to say 511 Euclid.
Right. Right. A greenhouse. It's a greenhouse. It's a really cool house. Like, it's definitely a special place for sure.
It was a really nice house, and then we went there and fucking partied like fucking animals, and there were holes in the walls. People fucking threw each other through the walls.
I did not do most of this stuff, but I will accept my part of the responsibility. I didn't do much to stop it, nor could anyone.
I did some bad shit in that house, and I don't know. I'm not going to talk about everything.
that please don't.
There are some things that I did in that house that are not great. I don't know if they're not illegal, but
I mean, I think there's a lot of things.
It was disgusting. We were disgusting.
I think there's a lot of things that 18, 19, 20, 21, 22-year-old, especially 22-year-old guys do that they either regret or think are disgusting or just not ideal. And lucky for us that, our lives were not public. Like I guess in the current day with like social media and all that, like everything is, even if you're not doing anything horrible or illegal, just the idea that every little weird, strange thing you would do might, go viral for something.
I was talking about this with somebody. Imagine back at 511 Euclid. Imagine like there was Instagram or something. Right. We were doing our fucking shit, partying, and people somebody whips out a fucking phone and posts a story of me running like bare ass naked up and down the street, or
Yeah.
Pissing off the roof or, whatever,
Dude, you'll
I'm
be
glad
famous and have your own channel and all this shit because you don't want to be famous for that.
No, absolutely not. So all this stuff that I'm talking about right now that I'm admitting to, but there's no footage of it. I don't know what that says about me that I'm admitting to.
Well, you're not telling everybody everything, but but everyone can, at least
we
in
were
ours.
Wild fucking college kids, man.
I think a lot of people can relate, at least around our age. Like we're in that sort of strange time period, our generation or whatever, that we remember like before internet, we remember before phones, we remember before 9/11. Like, but we also live in a world where people just were born into having a phone, having the internet, like what it is today at their disposal, and
that's right.
Shit. We can remember the both eras, which is I don't know, cool. I guess we're special.
That is the first time I've heard anybody put it that way. There are. That's how kids are born now.
Right. I didn't come up with that, just so you know. I won't take credit.
Okay. I thought you came up with that.
I'm smart.
Adam Choate.
No, I'm smart enough to repeat intelligent things other people say, though.
Adam Choate, that's very, deep, man.
Once every few years, I come up with something deep. Once in a blue moon.
Oh gosh. But, yeah, man.
We made it through college.
In college, I'm glad none of that shit's like documented. Why would you want to document that shit like on tape?
People like documenting everything these days. It's strange. It's a strange thing.
There's no mystique. Everyone's got to tell everybody fucking everything, man.
I want to tell people certain things, not everything. I'll tell them what they need to know.
Before I got sick, I was a dick.
No, you were not. No, you were not.
I was. Of course I was. I would, be very, I guess I was the equivalent of the Karen, but I was a dude and I'd, fucking get, become an asshole to like, people that worked at stores that would piss me off. And
you're talking about actually recently?
Like years ago.
Yeah. When we were younger and immature and stupid people, I guess.
Yeah. But like, I guess I'm just not afraid to say shit to people, just say it, what are they going to do? They'll probably be more dumbfounded that you actually said it to them.
I'm learning to give less shits every day, man. Every day,
just
give less shits.
Say it, man. Hey, look, we're all
give
big
less
boys
shits
and
every
big
day.
Girls. Just fucking say it. And I mean, obviously, when you're at your job or whatever, you gotta not fucking say that shit to people.
Yeah, use your judgment, but but don't hold yourself back and live with like the regret. Oh, I shoulda, woulda, coulda said something in that moment, type of thing. And just it would have been better for me or whatever. But what about after Syracuse?
Oh man,
where did life take you?
Okay, so after college, I moved back to Smithtown with my parents. Me and my sisters, we all had the same kind of formula. After college, everybody moved back for, I don't know, year, 2 years, 3 years, whatever, to, save money, figure out what you want to do and do it and leave, And I did the same thing after Syracuse. I lived with my parents, and right after Syracuse, I partied like fucking motherfucker. I drank a lot. I was still partying like I was still in college.
Yeah, we still hung out when I was around, for sure.
Oh yeah, of course. Remember that summer after? I guess I was still. I guess at the time, it was a little sad that college was over. I missed you guys.
No, it's still sad.
Yeah, you're right. I guess so.
I would go back.
I guess it's less sad. I don't know.
I would go
sad. Why is it sad? Why does it have to be sad?
No, I know. I'm joking around, but I feel like if I went back now, I'd be like better at partying and better at a student. I'd be like more efficient. I'd be get more done and partying more. I'd be like, it's like Jim Brewer saying he'd be good at Little League now, all that kind of joke.
Of course, yeah, because you know what you know.
Yeah.
You know
which is
now.
slightly more, but not too much more, but slightly more.
So I lived with my parents. You know, that's 6 months after college. I was out of work. You know, I did temp jobs and stuff, and I graduated with a psych degree, so it was pretty tough, kind of, you know, finding a job, especially on Long Island that paid well, because you know how expensive it is to live there.
Unless you're gonna be like what, like a professor or like a clinical type person.
Yeah, it gets you nothing, that degree. You know, and,
it's not. I'm not judging. It's not the only degree that doesn't get you that much.
Yeah.
At least in terms of the job stuff, like, but just saying you went to Syracuse or saying you have a college degree or proof of getting a diploma, like that's kind of what it means. It's not so much all the liberal arts or the BFAs in my case. It doesn't really matter. Go on about getting to Chicago and whatnot.
Sure. So, I guess that little time, you know, I was with my parents from, you know, when I graduated Syracuse to 2006. So I moved to Chicago in 2006, but for that time I lived with my parents, I worked, you know, for a nonprofit on Long Island. I was a project assistant where I assisted on like housing projects for people, for first-time home buyers who were under a certain income level. I don't know, I guess kind of housing and urban development. I was there for like 2.5 years, and I guess it was a good first job out of college. It was a good resume builder, but I didn't know anything about real estate, and I didn't want to settle on Long Island. And I saved a lot of money, you know, living with my parents. It sucked. I mean, I couldn't like bring girls home, you know, from the bar. Like, you can't let's go in the garage, you know. It's like, can't do that when you live with your parents, you know. And so that was kind of a crimp in my style, but it got me to kind of focus. I lost a lot of weight after college. I lost all the college beer weight. I got in shape. I got my act together. I saved a lot of money for that time. And then 2006, I remember it was like October 2006. I was driving, I want to say it was the Northern State Parkway. And I'm like, fuck, it's October. I was really kind of down in the dumps. I'm like, it's October, another year at this fucking job that I don't really like. I'm Long Island, living with my parents. Like, fuck, man, I got to do something. And I think I tried to apply to grad school earlier that year. Didn't work out. I wanted to go to Chicago. My sister lived here. I guess this is kind of explains a lot. Everyone asks me, Amanda, my oldest sister, she got her degree, her master's degree at Northwestern, which is in Evanston, which is like right here, you know, next to Chicago. I would always come to Chicago and visit, and I loved it. You know, I wanted that city atmosphere, but not New York City. New York City, I don't know. I never liked going there. It wasn't like,
you kind of seem like a Chicago guy a little bit. I don't know what.
Of course.
You seem like the type of dude who would take their shirt off. I mean, you were the type of dude who would take his shirt off and at various times. In college. So I imagine you'd be like one of those dudes at a Bears game or a Cubs game who does that. I don't know if you've done that yourself, but that city seems to suit you.
I like it here. You know, people are nice. Well, that was one thing.
Case by case basis.
Yeah, it's a case by case basis. Like, I thought Long Island was full of like just assholes, you know, who were not nice, and you know, people were unfriendly. Like, I want to get the fuck out of here, and it was expensive. I just felt like I had no real future on Long Island. I wanted to leave really badly, and like, you know what? Why don't I just take my money, go and move? And I picked Chicago and lived with my sister and, well, my brother-in-law now, but lived with them I moved on, I guess if we could rewind, I moved on Christmas Eve. And being Jewish, you're Jewish too.
Yeah.
Are we allowed to talk about that?
I think so.
Okay.
Don't tell anybody our secrets.
At the time, I mean, nowadays I celebrate Christmas, but at the time we didn't celebrate Christmas. So we figured no one's going to be on the road. So let's just move on that day. And it fucking worked. People think it's a joke when I say that, but it totally fucking worked.
It doesn't sound like a joke. No, I know people are already at their destination.
Yeah. So, so I moved on Christmas Eve, 2006. And so for like 2 months, I lived with my sister and my brother-in-law. I caught on with a job. I caught on with a place to live, and things started to work out. That first year in Chicago fucking sucked, though. No, it didn't. That's not true.
There were challenges.
Yeah, the beginning of that year was great. I got a job. I got a place to live, and I was on my own, and it was great. And it was my vision of what I wanted my life to be at the time. And I was working at this wine cellar in downtown Chicago, and I loved it, man. It was great. And then I don't know. I got laid off. No, I got fired. And because I wasn't really taking it seriously, and I guess I got that job to just have a job until I found a job. And I guess
I found a better one.
Maybe that's why I didn't really do that well there.
You don't got to justify it to me. You don't got to explain it to me. You're funny.
I don't know. I don't know why I'm going on a tangent on that fucking place. They fired me. Fuck them.
The memory, the traumatic memories are coming back. But it sounds like you were pretty happy overall, or you grew to be pretty happy in the city, and that it suited you. You're still there. You live there right now. So I mean, the city must have grown on you, and you grown on the city throughout the years.
Yeah. I was out of work for like 6 months though at the end of 2007, and it really sucked, and I was pretty down in the dumps. There was a point where I was talking to my parents. We're still on the island, and I think it was February 2008. I was still out of work, and my parents, they were helping me out, with money and stuff. And they're like, look, another month, if you don't catch on there, for us to continue to help you, we think you should come back to Long Island, because we can't, we can't keep, feeding you money,
Right.
And so I'm like, fuck, man, I don't want to go back to Long Island. And I had a real moment where I'm like, fuck, what am I going to do? And eventually I caught on with another job, and, things went well there. And then I met my wife, and, things started to go well for me.
That's great.
And that was 2008. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Does it take being in dire situation to find your way out of it and find the solution, like to find that job that you got that sort of saved you or whatever, kept you in Chicago? Did it take being just being completely desperate and not wanting to go back to Long Island? Is that what sometimes it takes in life to get that thing that you need? Is you have to be in a place of where you have no other options? Is that a thing?
I guess so. I'll say, I guess so. I mean, I was motivated the whole time I was out of work,
right?
Because being out of work was not fun. Everyone complains about having a job, but then when you don't have a job, you complain that you don't have a job.
Right. Then you're like, I like eating too. I'm a fan of food.
It's a means to an end, man. And,
right.
So anyway, I guess, it motivated me to find a job, or, even more like, fuck, I got to find something. I found a job. I worked for this company that did profit reports and stuff for bars and restaurants, where I went around and I weighed kegs, I weighed bottles, and then I did these Excel spreadsheets and shit for bar owners. And the job itself wasn't bad. My boss was not. He was hard to work for.
That sucks.
He would do these things that weren't like illegal, but they were just callous, like direct deposit. It never worked. And so And not only did it not work, but we didn't have like an office we went to. You just went to the bar and just did your work, and then you went home. There wasn't like an office. You were out in the field every day. So the checks, if you wanted your check that day, you had to go find wherever he was in Chicago and get your check. And it was always like a fucking mouth. It was like mice chasing cheese.
What the fuck?
And it was, I got paid, and, I had a job. And so I don't want to bitch about it and sound like, whatever.
No, this is hilarious. This is this is the funniest shit. Did he have other employees? I was gonna ask if he had other employees that had to deal with this. Were you like his only?
We all dealt with it. Yeah,
it was a few. It was more than you. It was a few employees who were like chasing him around.
Oh yeah. There was a couple guys, and we dealt with this all the time. And this was 2008, where the economy was in the fucking toilet,
right?
And I didn't, we all walked on eggshells because we had jobs, and
right. You don't want to lose your job.
Yeah. And so the job itself wasn't bad. It was good for me because, I'm a big guy. I like lifting weights and being in shape. And
I can picture it. I can picture it. I remember you talking about it.
Yeah. And, it was a good job. But my boss, he did that. He did another thing he did that was callous, the vacation policy. When I got hired, it's like, you get 2 weeks vacation the first year, and I think 2 more weeks, in your second year, and that was it, or something like that. And so it'd been like a year or whatever working for him, and then I wanted to go back home to Long Island. It was 2011. It was the year. It was Mark Sanchez.
He was still on the Jets then, unfortunately. He was
still on the Jets. It was 8-8. And at that point, my mom and we would always go to a Jet game once a year. I wanted to fly back to go to a Jet game. And I wanted to take some vacation, a week or whatever, go to Long Island. And I put in for a week's worth of vacation. And I'm like, he says, you can't take it. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, you already took a week earlier this year. I'm like, you said I get 2 weeks. And then he sends this memo out, updated vacation policy.
What a prick.
Oh gosh,
dude! I'm tagging this guy in the fucking social media.
Well, let's not do that.
Pull this audio clip.
No, I'm not going to do that.
Fuck that guy.
Here's the thing: that job, sometimes he was callous, but I had a job, and
right.
I'm not going to bury him necessarily.
Yeah, I just get excited to. Enact vengeance on behalf of others.
The guy, I'm not going to, don't tag him. It's weird. He would do these things that were fucking so callous, and I fucking hated working there. But then when you saw him in person, for whatever reason, he had this charm where, like, whatever you were pissed off at him about, like...
Dude, that's sociopath shit.
Oh, God.
That's like manipulative. Like that's the kind of stuff that I would love to be able to get good at, but unfortunately I'm not. I don't make a good sociopath. I'm too emotional for that, and you are too, which is good. We're very feeling human people, I think.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess we're good enough.
Yeah. Better than sociopaths.
Yeah.
And what about the next phase of your life when you in Chicago? And tell me about your wife and family life.
Continue
the journey.
What's that?
Continue the journey.
Continue the journey. Okay, so I met my wife we met on eHarmony. I guess I always try to like dance around like, oh, we met
it's where everyone meets. Yeah, there's no stigma.
Yeah.
But I know what you mean. I know why there's hesitation.
I met my wife on eHarmony, and she I met her, and we started dating, and things got serious, and eventually I proposed, and we had a long engagement. We lived together for quite a while before we actually got married. We lived in first we were in an apartment, and then we bought a condo together, and then we got married in 2013. So we were living together. We've been living together since 2009.
Yeah.
We got married 2013. She's an attorney, which is good for me because I'm
You're a criminal. You're a criminal.
Man.
What's her name? What's her name?
My wife's name is Beth.
That's right.
And she puts up with my crap, and and she's a very nice lady.
But there's less crap to put up with now than there's ever been probably at any point in your life, or at least when you guys met. A lot of the if she had met you in college or at a different time in your life, maybe would you guys have still ended up together? That's a dumb question. I will say that's a dumb question.
Absolutely not, man. If anybody met me in college, if any girl that met me in college, they would fucking run the other way, man.
I don't know about all that, unless it's like, but no, it's a dumb game to play because these things happen when they happen. You're the person you are. She's the person she is. Like maybe if you had met her, you know what I mean? It's life.
Yeah. People change and you don't know where life's going to take you and whatever. But no.
You seem content. You seem content and you seem like you're generally over the years, not that we've been in touch all that much, but I've never got the sense that you were, at least from afar, not a content person, at least with your life and your family and your work and whatnot.
Well, I guess I'm pretty happy with, my life and how it turned out. I mean, obviously when you're young, you want to be a rock star or a football player or a fireman or whatever.
Different. You have different dreams.
or rock and roll dreams. And,
right.
At one point I want to be a pro wrestler, I'm a big pro wrestling fan. And, and you have these childhood dreams and then, they don't come true, but, I guess it's kind of very,
American?
No. What's that
I don't know.
Poem where he finds a treasure that he wasn't looking for?
I don't know. I didn't expect to. I mean, I didn't know that you would be citing poetry today. I guess is what I'm saying.
I should. What the fuck am I talking about? I don't know dick about fucking poetry.
But you already did make the point.
Yeah,
about looking for treasure, etc.
Yeah, I found. I think whatever it is, there's a fucking poem, Greek poem where this guy finds a treasure, but it's not the treasure he was looking for. That's me. I found a treasure. Found my wife. We have kids together now. A little girl and a little boy, and
that's awesome, man. Fulfillment. You're living a fulfilling life.
Yes, I'm. Well, I mean, fulfillment. I mean, I wish I had like millions of dollars. That would fulfill me greatly. Having a lot of money, but yeah.
I know. Yeah, I know what you mean.
You know what I mean? Where are you right now? Is that your place?
Yeah, I'm in my my studio, aka I guess my living room.
Okay. Anyway,
for sure. Yeah, tell me about what happened next in your life, because I suppose part of what prompted me to want to reach out to you is to give you a chance to tell your story if you want to, as far as like all the crazy shit that you've gone down, physically in the last couple of years that I didn't even know about, and I'm sure a lot of people didn't know about. Like what is the timeline with all of that? I'll let you kind of tell that.
So I guess my wife and I were married in 2013. We had our daughter in 2015, and then the son was born in 2019 in February. And so the pandemic hit. Well, here's the thing. I guess it was a kind of a downward spiral before I got sick. 2020 was fucking terrible, but like the term of 2020 where like things went downhill for me started 2019, my mom passed away. It was July. And then since then, it was just downward spiral of just so much shit. Like my mom passed away, and then we had the virus, and then I was stuck in my house.
Yeah, I'm sorry, man. That's all of that is not fun to deal with.
And so just like everybody, it's been a tale of woe. But so back in September, I went to the emergency. Well, I guess I'll give you the Cliff Notes version. It was the Sunday after September. It was September 13th. It was the Sunday after September 11th of this past year.
Mm-hmm.
And my fucking left arm hurt. It was a Sunday morning. I was playing with my kids in my son's room, and my fucking left arm hurt really bad. And, I asked my wife, I'm having a heart attack. And, I'm kind of a hypochondriac in my, my age now. And, you think I'm having a heart attack or whatever. You think I have a nerve pinch.
I mean, you don't know. You don't know what's going on.
And my wife's like, you're fine. You probably slept on it wrong. And so I'm like, yeah, maybe. And so eventually the pain went away, but then my left arm was swollen.
Oh, no.
Oh, gosh, it was like really fat, and my left arm was swollen for a couple of days, and it just wouldn't go down. And so one day I'm like, I better go to the emergency room. And long story short, I had a blood clot in my arm, but they're like, blood clots in your arm are usually rare. Usually get them in your legs, but you got one in your arm. So that's not good. So something's causing. Well, no. They were pretty delicate about it. They were like, we just want to see what's causing it because it's usually rare. So we're going to see what's causing it. But they didn't say cancer.
Right.
So I'm thinking, I don't know, maybe. And this whole time I'm thinking it's not that serious. So I'm kind of joking around and I'm thinking, all right, love my family, but all right, I'll get a night in the hospital, watching TV, get some sleep and, have a little. That sounds really shitty.
No, I know what you're going to say. Where are you going with this? It's night out on the town for you.
It's like that movie. What was it? Bad Moms with Mila Kunis. Did you ever see that movie? Probably not. You didn't see that movie.
No, I've heard, but it's like Louis C.K. joke. He threw out all the toilet paper so he could go to the store and buy a new one to get away from his family.
A joke in there where one of the moms is like, I just want to get injured serious enough where I have to be in the hospital, but not serious enough where I'm going to be permanently injured or die.
Oh, and, that's right on the nose.
And that's kind of what I thought it was.
Yeah.
And so I'm, I feel, I'm like, all right, whatever, get a couple days off work, whatever. And obviously it wasn't good that I had a fucking blood clot in my arm, but I didn't think it was that serious. And then, so I'm at Northwestern Hospital downtown Chicago, and I'm sitting in one of these kiosks because in the time of COVID-19, they got fucking people everywhere in the emergency room. And, I'm sitting there in the curtains are draped, and doctors come in like, hey, Mr. Druckman, you want, can we talk to you? And they come in, and I'm like, I make an awkward joke. I'm like, oh no, is this, oh no, is this where you tell me that I've got something really bad?
Yeah, and, I know what you're trying to do.
And they weren't laughing, and they're like, listen, Mr. Druckman, we found a tumor in your chest right near your left lung and your heart. It's, it's pretty big. I think they said it was like 17 centimeters around. And
damn.
Is that like I don't know. Is that like a golf ball? I don't know.
But you don't want that in you.
Hey, look, it's not fucking supposed to be there.
Right.
So, and at first, I was in shock, and, it was kind of a slow burn where, they told me, and then I'm like, okay, just go for treatment. And then, I had to call my wife, and then, she was pretty upset. She was crying and stuff.
I imagine.
I called my dad, and I called my dad when he was on the way back from the cemetery, putting up the stone for my mom.
Oh,
And he's
man.
like, I just buried my wife. You can't, and he was really upset. You can't
I
die.
bet.
And, my sisters, I remember my sister Candace was like, okay, so you have the treatment. She was really positive.
That's
but
good.
I was pretty scared. And,
I bet.
I met with, that first time I was in the hospital, for like 2 weeks. It fucking sucked, man. I was there for 2 weeks. I didn't leave like my room because in times of COVID, you can't leave the room and mill around the hospital tethered to your little, your tower of liquids. Because of the virus, you have to stay in your room. So it was very like I didn't go outside for 2 weeks.
You're talking about after getting surgery?
No. So I went to the emergency room for the blood clot in my arm, and then they kept me there for 2 weeks because I was in the hospital while they did a biopsy to figure out what it was. That fucking hurt. It felt like I got out of a meeting with like Tony Soprano. I felt like someone took a baseball bat to my shoulder. It really hurt. And I was there for that. And they did a bunch of other they did all kinds of shit on me and tests because they had to figure out what type of cancer it was. And eventually there was a real long name for what I've got, but it was a form of non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. I think that my wife knows the name. It's like primary mediastinum, non-diffuse. I don't know.
Yeah, some bullshit you don't want.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you, Adam Choi. Very good.
You're welcome. Good.
And so I remember, it really sucked at first. I'm like, how the fuck can this happen to me? And but the doctors from the get-go, like when they figured out what I had, they just came up with a treatment plan. Like, you're an otherwise healthy guy, but you got this tumor, so we came up with this aggressive treatment plan for you. And so every 3 weeks I had to go to the hospital for like 5 days, and they just pumped me full of chemo for the whole time, and so they could monitor you. I forget what the drugs were called, but one of them, they have to monitor your heart because I guess you could go into shock or something. So they come in every like half hour and check your blood, your blood pressure and shit. And then, so I would go there for 5 days and, just sit around, usually, in my robe and my underwear and just watch TV.
Yeah.
And then, I'd come home, and then usually the first week of, being at home, it fucking really sucked. Like, usually in a lot of pain. During my whole thing of chemo, I didn't throw up once, but I had other stomach issues. I took a lot of pot gummies. That's how I maintained my weight. Like, I would just eat a bunch of pot gummies every day, and it would help me be hungry. And so
you're talking about eating gummy bears that have marijuana, THC in them.
Yeah.
And that stimulated your appetite to eat other food. You're saying that kept you at weight?
Yeah, because that first round of chemo, after that, I lost like 15 pounds. And at first, before I got sick, I smoked pot, I'm a regular pot smoker, and I thought like, okay, for this whole thing, I'm going to stop smoking pot. And so I tried gummies, and they were great. And they they spiked my appetite, and it really helped with, my anxiety, I guess.
Sure. Which I imagine you had a lot of like going through all this stuff. Like, that's kind of what I wanted to ask about, like, because you're describing all these events and these things that you're going through, but like, that must really suck. How do they make you feel to, like, especially early on when they don't know what they're looking for and whatnot, and you're in limbo? That's gotta be like scary. How do you like get through that? Does your family help you get through that? Does your family help you get through all this stuff? Like, what How do you deal with this stuff? Because
How do I deal with it?
you deal with what life gives you, or I don't know.
I don't
I
know.
don't know how people deal with these things in their lives.
How did I deal with it? Well, at first, before they told me what it was, I'm like, well, if it's near my lung and my heart, I need both. Those are vital organs. So my mind kind of went, on a little. My mind kind of ran away with itself, and I worked myself up. I'm like, fuck, man, this is bad. But
Sure.
once they had a treatment plan, and they came up, they told me, it's very successful. Figured, okay, it seemed like they have a good plan. And for the most part, I was pretty positive the whole thing. Sometimes, I was really down the dumps. It's not fun being sick. It
No, I
sucks.
don't imagine so.
I don't want it. I don't wish cancer on anybody. It sucked. It was really hard. It was hard on me, with my health, and I'm trying to grow my beard back, and
The important things.
the important things. No, but it was scary, and it was really hard to go through physically and mentally, but it was hard on my family because for 5 days my wife was here just by herself with the kids and the dog and the cat, the house, and it was hard on her, and I went on disability, and it was at first I got my full pay, but then at least our disability plan, it doesn't pay your full pay the whole time. You get like 75% of it. If you're out for a certain time, and I was out for like 6 months, so toward the end, wasn't getting paid as much.
Right.
So we can cover our bills, but we need that income, and so it was hard on us that way too, and it was hard on me with being a dad because couldn't really engage with my kids like I like to.
That
Now,
sucks.
yeah, it was really hard, and I felt really bad. It was hard, it was just hard on it. It was just a very rough couple months where it really put our love for each other to the test. And yeah, it was really shitty. I kept it quiet. I don't know, for whatever reason, I didn't put it out on Facebook. I guess by keeping it quiet, I kept it off like social media. Some people knew, some people didn't.
Right.
My family knew.
Sure.
Some close friends, all my Smithtown football buddies knew, and that was about it. My wife's friends knew, and then I kept it quiet because, I don't want to have to give a press conference to everybody all the time. Like, oh, how's it going? And because it's not fun to talk about.
No, I understand the your thought process behind this thing. You don't want to keep it entirely to yourself, but you're not trying to broadcast if there's no reason for it, at least at the time for you.
Yeah, and then
personal choice, personal thing, right?
Yeah, it was personal choice, and so I kept it quiet for quite a bit. And then I'm sure people saw on social media because I was just sitting around all the time, mostly by myself, and I would go on social media and post I don't know, wrestling memes or wrestling videos or metal videos or football stuff, and just bombard.
Yeah, I recall.
Yeah. Everyone's posting politics, COVID, and I'm gonna look back on my time hop and see all this heavy metal and football and wrestling, and it's gonna be awesome because that was what I was. I would just watch videos on my phone all day, and so
that's cool that music and that content was able to help you get through that time. Let
me tell you, I remember when I first got sick, my dad's like, look, let me buy you an iPad. And I'm like, nah. He's like, typical Jewish father, let me buy you the iPad, So he got me an iPad, and I used it to watch movies. I used it to listen to music. I used it. So yeah, it was a great distraction to have, just media, I guess,
Yeah, you've always been, I mean, we can't get into everything. There's not enough time, but obviously you are were quite the heavy metal guitar player, like really like like fucking played Nisma. You did Nisma guitar. I remember that shit.
I did.
Like the
Yes.
Long Island School District, like the real music, like school academic stuff on guitar,
Yeah,
reading music and stuff.
Yes, I took classical guitar lessons, and I was for many years I was really into playing guitar, and I don't play it at all these days, but at one point I was really into it.
But you still love listening to the music and watching all these videos, it sounds like. And
I love music. I love,
movies.
metal.
Movies too, I was gonna say, because you've always been like a movie. You're like a movie buff, like someone who's seen like a lot. You can consume a lot. I mean, even back then, before there was content everywhere, even I remember in college and beyond, you just like we'd watch a lot of movies. I remember.
Oh yeah. I mean, I watch a lot of bad fucking movies too, but we watched a lot of movies. Yeah, because we lived in kind of an artsy house. It was you. There was.
I'm just talking about you specifically, though. You always watched like a lot of you've always been into movies, like, and watching a lot of them, like just like a lot of different ones too. No, that's
always been into films and watching movies, and and so it was great to have those things. It was great to have football. I know it's probably irresponsible that they had hundreds of people in the stadium, some of them, bleeding and spitting on each other during COVID-19, for football games.
I'm just upset the Jets were not good during the season.
Jets fucking suck.
Otherwise, why? Otherwise, I've been like, oh, football's awesome. Yeah, like if the Jets are bad, it's like, yeah, whatever. I don't know.
Gosh, they were so. It sucks, man, because I love the Jets, but they just suck. And there were times. I'll tell you, there were times I was in the hospital, and for whatever reason, the Jets were on here in Chicago.
Oh no!
And I turned on the game. And I made a joke to the nurse, at least I'm in the right place, because if I get fucking sick from watching this, you guys can help me.
There you go. Look at you, right? Funny. Yeah, that's good.
But being serious, I just put on the game, and, it's usually a treat if the Jets are on in Chicago, because they're usually not. It's usually the Bears or another, regional NFC team, NFC North team. And then I get, if the Jets are on TV here, usually it's like, okay, cool. I don't have to go to a bar to watch it. I turned it on. I'm like, I can't fucking do this today. I can't watch this game and just watch them suck and get miserable. And I can't do it. And so I just shut it off.
I did the same thing during the season at various points. Maybe not week 1 or week 2, but eventually it was like, I'm not getting joy out of this. Like, that's the thing. No. If they were like a competitive team, or they had enough good players that were fun to watch, then it would be. I still love the Jets, but they have some issues. But what about you? How are you doing today?
Man, I'm doing great. I'm trying to be very not. I don't want to be too in your face. I don't want to be one of these cancer survivors who's always like in your face, like live your life, like it's the last day you're on earth.
Yeah, those fucking in-your-face cancer survivors always like fucking, they won't leave me alone.
This sounds
so annoying.
This sounds terrible. I'm gonna sound
I know what you mean. You don't want to.
I'm trying very hard not to be that way, but I feel fucking great. I feel really good. I'm really glad I put all this stuff behind me. I mean, I'm looking into the camera here. I mean, I know this is just audio, but I look like shit. I'm looking forward to getting back in shape, but.
You look good to me.
Oh well, thank you.
I've seen worse.
Even if you're lying, thank you for lying.
I'm not.
But no, but I'm starting to exercise again and stuff, and trying to eat right. But no, I feel really good. I feel really positive. I feel good going back to work, and I feel like things are back to normal. I'm really happy.
Treatment's over and all that.
Yeah, right now my cancer's in remission.
That's awesome.
And so I feel really good, and it's weird. Like, I mean, obviously things still piss me off, but that
means you're living.
Yeah, but like, what I'm trying to say is like, the things that used to really, really piss me off don't seem like a big deal anymore. Or
You're
like
becoming less petty.
Yes. And I really see, like, I don't know, somebody flips me off on the road instead of being like, fuck you, dickhead, or, I'm just like, okay, whatever,
You're Zen, man. You are Zen Doug.
Ooh, do I sound like a hippie?
No, you sound like someone who's becoming wiser and smarter yeah, no, that's it. That's enough. I think that covers it.
Yeah, man. I feel really good. I feel really good.
No, that's great to hear. And I'm happy to hear that for sure, man. Like, wow, what a journey. And I appreciate you sharing all the personal stories and all everything, man. Fucking, I'll probably fucking cry listening back to this shit or something like that.
There's nothing to cry about.
I'm not saying in a bad way.
Oh, don't cry. Hey,
no, man, it feels good.
Feel good. Feel like, just feel like, feel good, man. Don't.
Yeah, that shit will make me feel good. Fuck,
yes.
Gotta have that.
Just
no, I know. Man, it's all good, man. You are an inspirational story, man. I don't know where people like you get the strength to like deal with these types of things in life, like especially those moments like when you don't have a plan and don't know what was going on. Not to harp on it, but like I'm impressed, I'm inspired, and like that's again, like besides just catching up, like I'm appreciative of hearing that story, and it's just cool for me to hear it straight from you. I hope that you got something out of like sharing your story. I'm guessing you haven't talked about it in this type of forum really to anyone.
No, I thought this would be funnier. I thought we'd be like, I don't know. I thought this would be like us shooting the shit and like making fun of each other and busting balls and, I thought it'd be like us, hanging out. I guess that's kind of what
it felt like that to me a little bit, but you know what it was? I think it was also, I mean, we're also just kind of focused on doing the podcast. At least I am, but there's not enough time to get into everything. Not. And plus, we're not the same people we were when we were 23 years old either. So there's that. There's a few things factor in.
Yeah, but you're fucking old, man.
Dude, you were fucking cracking me up though. I don't know if you realize that. Like I was laughing like throughout the episode at the things that you were saying. Like I just
thought you were smiling. I thought you were being polite.
No, man, you're fucking funny. You're the way you tell these stories and recall all these events is fucking hilarious to me.
Well,
even if I wasn't super entertaining to you throughout this, I got joy out of it.
I got joy out of seeing you, Adam, because I haven't seen you in so long, and I still consider you, one of my buddies, and
likewise.
I guess we did lose touch, but hopefully we can kind of spark it back up.
I think so.
Spark our touch. Does that sound bad?
Talk to you in 2029. I'll see you in another decade. We'll
oh
see,
gosh,
we'll see where
I really hope things
at.
are much better than. Oh, I really hope things get better, Adam.
Yeah, things will get better. Just everyone needs to listen to me. But if there's anything else that you need to you want to cover or mention, or anything you want to plug or promote or causes, I'll kind of like let you do whatever you want. I know you're not technically probably not a public figure, so I don't want any people following you and stuff.
No.
But if there's anything like you want to plug or promote or other
plug
stories
or promote. No, I have nothing to plug or promote.
You can tell
I got nothing,
good football free agents to sign with the Jets or something like that. You could
good football free agents to sign with the Jets. I don't know that they can get any because nobody wants to come to the Jets right now.
Yeah, I've been
I don't know. They're going to have to pay somebody a lot of money. I don't know. One of these receivers are going to have to pay him like, I don't know, $80 million.
The Jets always have to overpay to get good players. But again, thank you for your time, man. I appreciate it. It's been fun catching up. We'll have to do it again, not on a podcast sooner than later.
Of course.
I look forward to to that. Let's talk soon, man.
All right, man.
Later. So there you have it, my conversation with Doug Druckman. That was a lot of fun, at least for me. The dude really was cracking me up. And for real, it was nice to catch up with Doug, and I truly do appreciate him sharing so many personal things with me. And all you guys out there. But anyway, for everything about this show, of course, head to peoplewelovepodcast.com. That's at People We Love Podcast on Instagram. I'm at Adam Choid on Instagram and Twitter. And I think that's about all I got for today. I appreciate you guys listening. Thanks as always. And let's talk soon. Peace.